As you can see, 7 for 226. The first one to go was Emery. Reached wide for this one, caught it right on the toe, and a beautiful catch there by Hilditch. This was Owen, a successful bowler taken from the other end. Yes, a superb catch. That'll be one of the classic catches for this season. Matthews batted particularly well. Faced 42 balls, 40 runs, and an Australian rules catch by Owen, a good catch. No one else would have taken that because they're all too small. And then watch this one. Bat to pad again of the keeper, and then to slips. A most unusual dismissal. Freedman was out for one. Tim May again, pad to pad. Of course, it came off the bat. Yes. And that's a good shot. We've resumed play. David Wildy will take up the commentary for the second session.
Thank you, Gordon. Good shot there from Brad McNamara. Commence the second session of the fourth day's play here at Adelaide Oval. Jeff Lawson batting with a runner. McNamara to 28. Tim May with the figures of 2 for 97. Well flighted ball. A cry of well bowled. Tim May's had a good long stint in the New South Wales second innings, only bowled 4 overs in the first.
Catch!
Cry of catch, it just went just wide of the fieldsman. Will go all the way for 4. And McNamara goes up to 32. New South Wales total 232. Close call, that one, Gordon.
Yes, it was. It incidentally brings up Tim May's 100. 2 for 101. Once again. Oh, he's pretty wide and was punished. Sleep didn't really move at all on that occasion. McNamara on 32. Lawson on 2. Lawson batting with a runner.
Yes, McNamara has struggled for his 32. A very gritty knock. He's still out there fighting for his state. The shorter ball from Tim May. Just pushed out to cover, fielded by Greg Blewett. Three more wickets required by South Australia. New South Wales, I'll be talking more in hours. 6 runs from the Tim May over. New South Wales 7 for 232.
New South Wales skipper Jeff Lawson on strike. He's on 2, facing Peter Sleep. Be watchful, spins forward, tall man, a lot of reach there. Smothered the spin.
There's a runner out at square leg for Jeff Lawson. He's got a hamstring problem. Peter Sleep bowls to Lawson. The captain just fends that ball away. Been a good return from Peter Sleep. 70 in the first innings. And immediately broke through when thrown the ball. He's got the figures of 1 for 9. Toss that one down leg side. An attempt to sweep from Jeff Lawson. Dangerous shot against a leg spinner. Many times we've seen the ball spin around the back of the pads and hit the wicket.
Sleep picked up the valuable wicket of Matthews. I thought he took it. Perhaps it hit the ground first. Let me have a look.
What's the replay? Must have been a bump ball.
Half volley, I think.
On occasion, Lawson allows the ball to go through to Nielsen, who didn't glove it cleanly. He's just on the half volley. Lucky break there for Jeff Lawson. Sleep allows Lawson plenty of room. We'll get a couple of runs here. Chris Owens in pursuit. Come back for 3. That's 3 runs to Lawson and 3 from the over. New South Wales 7 for 235.
Seventh for 235 as Tim May continues. And Lawson still on strike. When I say still, he took strike to Peter Sleep. Last over, spinners in tandem. Ooh, French cut. Only one. No hurry by anybody. Tim May says, how did that miss?
Yes, Jeff Lawson has been a little bit lucky so far in his brief innings. What's this one? Beat him all ends up. The gloves of Tim Nilsson. Not taken cleanly by the young wicketkeeper.
I thought it went to the side, but it went over the stumps. French cut, a high one. McNamara now on 32. Speculation in the commentary box this morning on how long this match would go. Some suggested 2:30, 3 o'clock. Quite an interesting battle. I don't think anyone went close to 6 o'clock.
Yes, it's been a hard grind for New South Wales this morning, and only Greg Matthews provided some entertainment. A very entertaining 40. He would have been disappointed at getting out on that total. Very good, Greg Matthews. Tim May to McNamara. A lot of oohing and ahhing going on out there, Gordon. The wicket just starting to play a few tricks.
A little bit of frustration. South Australia would like to wrap this innings up. Still, of course, 95 runs, the difference. Or to make South Australia bat again. Interesting to know how many times McNamara had patted the ball away this morning.
Yes, but he's doing the job for his state. He's got to survive, and he's done that for 2 hours in the morning session. May, there'll be a couple of runs here past David Hookes at first slip. Might even be 3. And yes, there will be 3. Throw from Hookes just a little bit wide. 4 runs from the Tim May over. New South Wales 7 for 239.
Sleep to continue. Southern end 1 for 12, his figures. Flicking the ball through his fingers as much as to say I'll bowl for the rest of the day if necessary. It was an interesting interview, Barry Curtins. I think I might have made a mistake there when I said that Mark Waugh got that 100 against the West Indies. I think it was against England.
Yes, 139. And a fantastic innings too it was. Flawless. Only 4s. Oh, McNamara living life dangerously there. Very close to the off stump. Picks up another run.
That was a back cut. supposedly, that went through the keeper's legs. Bad cut it was. Would have been the unkindest cut of all if it had hit the stumps.
Really, it's been a disappointing effort from the New South Wales team. Right from day one, dismissed for 225. Then South Australia made a magnificent 556. And New South Wales in the second innings struggling at 7 for 240. Lawson allowing that ball to go through once again. Jeff Lawson, a very experienced campaigner, played a lot of Test cricket and many years with New South Wales. Peter Sleep tosses that ball up. A straight bat. But one sense as Gordon, the end is near.
Well, I don't know. Jeff Lawson made his highest Shield score here on this oval 3 years ago, 71. Naturally against South Australia. Can pick up a single here. 12th man, Glenn Bishop. 2 off the over. 7 for 241.
Marvellous conditions for cricket here at the Adelaide Oval. Brought to you a wide world of sports. Channel 9, Tim May. Continuing to Lawson. And Gordon, it can be confusing when a batsman has a runner. I've often seen the actual batsman take off as well. Forgetting that he's got a runner, takes 2 or 3 steps down the wicket and realises that he's got someone else there to run for him.
Yes, I remember a test match here in which Mel McInnes was umpiring. I can't think of the batsman at the moment, but he lost him. He lost the runner, actually, and he was, I don't know if he was given out or not out, but it was just a case of the umpire forgetting about the runner. It's a good shot. May go to the fence. No, Kadiri always in the action. We'll stop it. Good arm he's got too. Watch this throw.
Yes, a nice shot from Jeff Lawson through the covers. Put the big left foot down the pitch. What is the actual ruling, Gordon, if the runner does get up to the other end too? Is he out of his ground? Is he considered out of his ground if he runs as well?
I'm glad you threw that one to Barry Curtin. I was just going to answer that one, but Barry got in first.
And the ruling, Gordon?
You heard the ruling. You heard what he said.
I just thought I'd toss that curly one in because we don't see it too often. Tim May, McNamara. Good concentration from the young man.
How was that?
Once again an appeal, how was that? Not very confident. 3 runs from the Tim May over. New South Wales 7 for 244. Peter Sleep to resume from the River Torrens end, right on line, right on length.
Has he bowled a wrong one yet?
Only bowled one that I've picked up, Gordon. He's mainly been the leg break. There's another one there, spinning in from outside leg stump. Well fielded by Joe Kadiri. And Peter Sleep has bowled many, many overs at this ground and taken quite a few wickets.
Yes, he's been a great all-rounder for South Australia. In latter years, he's been a more valuable batsman than he has a leg spinner. Although he had that, what was it, a 5-wicket haul for Australia that won a test in the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Yes, it might have even been 5 or 6 to bowl out England on the last day. Probably his finest bowling feat. But he really has been a marvellous cricketer, both with the bat and the ball. And also a very good cricketer for Salisbury for many years at district level.
It's amazing that at 83, 84, I think he gave the game up because, state cricket that is, because he was stale and coached Salisbury. Here he is 8 years later, fighting his way back into the state side, 70. Well, 70 not out actually, and 1 for 15.
That's the over. 1 run from it. New South Wales 7 for 245.
Lawson on strike, also on 10, McNamara 36. Conditions perfect, practically no breeze now, which is unfortunate. Lots of cries of anguish. Unfortunate, that is, for May. He'd like a little bit of breeze for his drift.
Yes, he hasn't had a lot of luck, Gordon. Figures of 2 for 170. He's bowled better than that. Lawson on the back foot. Fielded by Peter Sleep. Conditions for cricket both yesterday and today perfect. Lawson on the back foot once again. Take 2 to Peter Sleep. Is Jeff Lawson a handy batsman? Made quite a few runs throughout his career. He's 10 not out at the moment. I think if New South Wales are to get out of this game, we have to make quite a few more.
Likes that sweep shot. Goes down to Chris Owen. Took that fine catch earlier to dismiss Greg Matthews. Tim May, 2 for 108. None for 24 in the first innings.
Yes, hasn't been the best of starts for Tim May. Pre-season, everybody thought he might make the Australian side. Peter Taylor has edged ahead of him. McNamara puts the foot down. We've seen a lot of that throughout the innings. Just padding away, bat tucked firmly behind the pad. McNamara's been at the crease for quite a while, for his 36. 173 minutes. Once again, a very strong appeal. 1 run from Tim May's over. New South Wales 7 for 246. 7 for 246. Peter Sleep to continue. We mentioned Peter Sleep's value, Gordon. I believe as an all-rounder, he has the greatest figures both with a bat and ball. Over 200 wickets, well over 200 wickets, and also over 5,000 runs. It's a very good double from Peter Sleep, and one that a lot of people don't realise.
I think George Giffen didn't make as many runs, I think. Just watch the sweep, or attempted sweep, by Lawson. Yeah, in 64 first-class matches from 1870. I only remember the last part of his career, 1877 to 78. He scored 4,667 runs. This is George Giffen I'm talking about. Sleep again. At an average of almost 44 with 1100s. And took 412 wickets, an average of 23.29, as well as 67 catches. And he finished there in 1903-04. That's why they named that stand after him over there. George Giffen's stand that I'm looking at right in the centre of the block of 3 stands on the western side of this magnificent oval on a magnificent day. South Australia striving for outright victory, and a gallant fight here, particularly by McNamara. Been there all day. He's now on 36. Lawson on 11.
Sleep bowls. Hit around the corner. Well fielded too. That short fine leg. Greg blew it. It's the end of the over. 1 run off it. New South Wales 7 for 247. New South Wales 7 for 247. Tim May to continue from the Cathedral end. Figures of 2 for 108. And Barry Curtin now joins Gordon Swartz.
I'm reminded too that George Giffen and Peter Sleep at under 19 level, Peter Sleep played football for Norwood. So did the man bowling at this end. Junior level, Tim May. Only a little bit of trivia, I know.
And I hope you're going to mention my 4 games for Woodville Racquabite B grade, Gordon.
I said it was trivia, but not that trivial.
That was nearly the end of the road for Geoffrey Lawson. I don't know what sort of stroke that was, but it certainly wasn't out of the cricket book. That was a try and get out shot. Tim May really worrying Geoffrey Lawson. Of course, he would be hampered by that hamstring strain. I think it's time, Gordon. I don't know about you, but I know we called for Peter Sleep to be introduced into the attack. But I'd be looking at maybe making a swap now and bringing back a medium pacer or somebody that, especially bowling to Geoffrey Lawson. He was bowled around his legs in the first innings by the quicks, and I just don't think that he'd be all that comfortable facing the quick bowling. Of course, no Dennis Hickey. No ball called by umpire Steve Davis.
You think there'd still be some spark left in Kadiri?
I'm glad you asked, because, and I'll tell you after this Tim May delivery. It's the cut shot again by Geoffrey Lawson. It's certainly not out of the books, that one. And that's the end of Tim May's over. New South Wales are 7 for 248. McNamara on 36, been there a long time. Peter Sleep, cut shot's a good one. It's into the gap. Quick call of one. Good sharp piece of fielding by Tim May, who's done a lot of bowling. But Joe Kadiri, Gordon, I was around at mid-wicket, as you know, during the luncheon interval, and I had a chance to talk to some of the South Australians, and the reason that Joe Kadiri went off the field earlier on was because he's a little tired. He's a little fatigued. And when you consider that really he's been in the game from day one, he's been in the action from day one, both 7 for 70, of course. He bowled a lot of overs. He bowled unchanged that first morning, 25 on the trot or something he bowled. He finished with 7 for 70. Then of course, he made that super 100 on the next day. So he's a little bit tired, Kadiri.
Glorious day, though. I just want to break in here, having just been... I was listening to you, but I was watching this picturesque scene, looking at the weather, practically no breeze. As Lawson cuts straight to a fieldsman. The forecast, fine, light southeasterlies. Current temperature 21.2, delightful. Estimated maximum 25. And there's a delightful city, magnificent weather right through Christmas. I hope it's just as pleasant for the test in Melbourne. You can watch on Channel 9's Wide World of Sport. There's just one thing I want to ask there. Then why did he only go off for about 10 minutes if he was exhausted?
He was receiving treatment in the rooms in there last night. It's a dangerous shot to play, but he gets away with it. Get a single. Down to Andrew Hilditch, fielding on the square leg fence. That's the end of the over. 2 runs from it. New South Wales are 7 for 250.
Back at the Adelaide Oval is the scoreboard. McNamara 37, Lawson on 12. So he had treatment again this morning when he went off.
Yes, it's nothing major, but there's just some general soreness there. As I say, he was really in the action for 3 days, the first 3 days of the game. So he's done a hell of a lot of work in this game so far. That's a nice shot. He should get 2. Peter Sleep, the fieldsman. Matter of fact, they should come back for 3. And they will do just that. So 3 more to Lawson. A nice cut shot. He's been trying to play that shot for the last 5 minutes, Gordon.
I found that very interesting. I looked at Hooks. He looked across at the other fellow, which was Sleep, or who was Sleep, much as to say, will you chase it? I'm too old. Of course, Hooks is only 36 and Sleep's, what, 34 or 5. But it was interesting for David to say, will you chase it? I'm a little bit your senior.
Of course, Hooks has done his apprenticeship chasing those.
On my word. I wonder what he says as he runs down towards the boundary now, having to chase them 3 or 4. Here he comes. He's got to chase this one. I bet he's saying, oh, bother. Something like that anyway.
He too was a guest last night of the Adelaide City people, Charlie Zollo and Dave Jenkins. So he'd be feeling, well, he's a very fit person,
see if we can catch the look on his face here. Oh, it goes between his legs. Oh, look at the look of disgust. Having to say, why didn't I chase it? Why didn't I stop it? I've got to chase it now.
I think they'll have to start calling Jeffrey Lawson Mr. Sweep and Cut. That's all he's done since he's been there. But once again, he gets away with it. And that's a nice return coming back in from Chris Owen, who also has done a lot of work. So the hamstring hasn't affected the getting down on one knee playing a sweep shot, Gordon.
No, you wonder whether in a moment he might get one on the top edge of the bat and up it goes. Might balloon a catch. He's played it pretty well. Fielded by Brayshaw.
Yes, I think it's time to bring in a pace man. It's well played by Jeffrey Lawson. end of Tim May's over. 8 runs from it. It's 7 for 259. Brad McNamara's on 40, Jeffrey Lawson on 18, and we've got our wish, Chris Owen will come into the attack from the River Torrens end, and I dare say that this may be the start of maybe taking the new ball, Gordon. We're well at 99th over now, and the helmets are coming out for both batsmen. So I dare say the new ball is not far away, and one wonders whether we may see Dennis Hickey walking down the stairs. He was dressed in the red tracksuit pants just prior to lunch and wasn't all that keen on coming out, but he may be required.
And it's Joe's Kadiri warming up too. Perhaps he will come on shortly, and then we'll take the new ball as you suggested. Not a big crowd here today, but still a few. Perhaps more than you could expect, seeing that a lot of them would have expected the game perhaps to have ended by lunch. The more optimistic. Hundredth over with the old ball. It was new 100 overs ago. Chris Owen. Nicely sidestepped by Lawson. Moved like a bullfighter then to get out of the road of that one and go straight through to square leg. Tim May picks it up, virtually threw it back with a little bit of frustration, almost disgust, I thought.
Nothing worse, Gordon, than running around the boundary at 100 miles an hour and failing by 2 inches to get to the ball before it goes into the fence. There's nothing more frustrating, as Tim May hurled that ball back into keeper Nilsson.
Unless you stop it, cannon into the fence, and it comes off your foot and then into the fence, and you're in the gutter with the ball.
Yes, it makes you feel like hopping over the fence and going the other way. There's a couple of good shots in this over from young McNamara. 2 short deliveries from Owen. First of all, the pull shot, which went to the fence for 4, and that one there was hit with tremendous power straight to the fieldsman.
We move from just momentarily from cricket to golf. For any of you who haven't heard the result, the final round, Fred Couples a magnificent 66 for a total of 281. Looks like a hiker out there somewhere in the distance. Couldn't be a golfer, must be a hiker. Oh, it is a golfer, yes, marvellous. I thought it was a hiker, it's all right. My eyes are not as good as they used to be, as Chris Owen comes in again. Well, most golfers are hikers, especially the way some of us play. Bernard Langer. That's not Bernard Langer. He was runner-up. Fred Couples picked up about $700,000 for that win in the $1 million Johnny Walker Classic. Bernard Langer was second. Paul Azinger was third. And the 2 Australians tied for 4th, Parry and Greg Norman.
Well bowled by Chris Owen. Of course, you can see the highlights of the golf tomorrow morning, 12:20. And that should be well worth seeing. As I mentioned before, the greatest talent in golf will be on show on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Chris Owen. It's been a very good innings by young McNamara. Missed out in the first innings, batting at 3. But he's 44, not out at the moment. Well bowled. the end of the over, just the one boundary from it. New South Wales are 7 for 263.
Yeah, might have blew. Yeah, caught him a hiker. You got a hit. I didn't mean a hiker, I meant a hacker before when we spoke to that fellow. Here's one coming in now, David Wildy.
Thank you, Gordon, for being so complimentary. Tim May, I thought that might have been the end of his spell with Chris Owen coming on from the other end. They might have taken the new ball, but maybe Jamie Siddons has second thoughts. Wishes to give Tim May 1 or 2 more overs. He hasn't bowled with any luck at all, Tim May. Quicker ball, poor defence from Lawson. Lawson's moved up to 18. McNamara a very steady 44. New South Wales need another 65 to make South Australia bat again. Tim May. Oh, Lawson goes back though. Will take a single. Put it by Jamie Brayshaw. Jeffrey Lawson goes on to 19.
Yes, and this pair now added 41. And doing it very well. As I mentioned, McNamara is a very good innings for New South Wales. He's been there a long time. Sitting on 44. There's the sweeps in the air, but it'll go over the top. And Chris Owen's got to chase out towards the boundary. He'll pick it up just inside. And they'll complete 2. So good effort by Chris Owen. South Australia's been working very hard in the field. Gets some applause of his teammates for a good throw. He threw to the bowler's end. McNamara was not very quick at getting through for the second run. So good work by Big Owen.
He certainly saved 1 run there, Chris Owen. Chased the ball very enthusiastically. Tim May's figures starting to blow out a bit. 2 for 121. He's bowled quite a few overs. In fact, 40 unchanged. A marathon effort from Tim May. Once again, the pad plays the biggest part in that shot. Balloons out to short cover. So 1 ball remaining of Tim May's 40th over. Around the wicket to McNamara on 46. Pushes forward once again. We've seen a lot of that. 3 runs from the Tim May over. New South Wales 7 for 266.
.46 to McNamara. There's umpire Darryl Harper just signalling that the new ball has been taken by Chris Owen. He's letting the scorers know and the scoreboard, although they're a little late to haven't noticed umpire Harper just yet, and could be standing there tomorrow as somebody gives him a wave shortly. They have now. They've recognised the fact that the new ball has been taken. There's McNamara. He's going to go for the helmet. And it is a magnificent afternoon if you're sitting home watching the cricket. Perfect weather, magnificent weather coming up to Christmas time. And of course, the Boxing Day Test match starts on Thursday. And I dare say that our co-commentator KG Cunningham might be sitting home today. He's on leave from Radio 5AA, David. So he'd be enjoying the cricket right now, I would think, KG.
Yes, he'd have the feet up by the pool with the TV outside. No doubt about that with KG. Chris Owen It's gone through past third slip. Doesn't go all the way to the fence. I'll certainly run 4, possibly 5. But it'll beat Jamie Brayshaw into the fence for 4. So Lawson moves along to 23. The new ball, Barry, certainly comes off the bat a little bit quicker.
Yes, that was always going to be 4 from the moment it left the bat. It certainly races across this outfield, which is in magnificent conditions. Full credit must go to Les Burdett and his staff. Adelaide Oval always looks a picture, and it certainly does today. And we're getting a few people in as well. There's a nice sprinkling of people around the mounds now at Adelaide Oval. That's out, dropped. But a hand to that, I think, is off the outside edge. That's Jamie Brayshaw. Jamie Siddons is doing the chasing. That ball is literally flying across the turf. He'll pick it up just inside, but they'll run 3. Run 4 very comfortably. So no luck for Chris Owen.
No, Jamie Brayshaw not happy with that. Got a hand to it. His right hand wasn't an easy chance. He put one down in the first innings. Unlucky Chris Owen found the edge of the bat. That race past Brayshaw. And another 4 runs to Jeff Lawson. He's advanced quickly to 27. Chris Owen. Bowled well. Good line and length today. Picked up the important wicket of Phil Emery. Made the initial breakthrough this morning. He's working on that new ball. Only 4 deliveries old, but already has been twice to the boundary. Jeff Lawson, 2 boundaries both in this over. Both through third slip. That's a better shot from Lawson, found the middle of the bat. Far more confident coming forward. Been a mixed innings from Jeff Lawson, Barry. A few indiscreet shots, but a few sprinkled with a few nice shots.
Yes, well, he's 27, not out at the moment, and Chris Owen would be well advised, or he shouldn't be too frightened to drop a couple short to Jeff Lawson. Doesn't play the short one all that well. And just to let him know that, okay, he's batted now, he's got 27, and he deserves to receive a bouncer. Ball of weight. You don't run on the no ball, or don't run on a misfield, I should say. That's good cricket from Lawson. He would have been running to the danger end, or not Jeff Lawson himself, but his runner would certainly have been running to the danger end. But I wouldn't be too frightened to give Jeff Lawson a couple of short ones, just to let it get, just to keep him on the back foot.
No, I'm sure in the same position Jeff Lawson would do the same thing. He has done it in the past. Not frightened to give the tailender a bouncer. Chris Owens well pitched up. Well struck by Lawson. That's the end of the over. 8 runs from it. New South Wales 7 for 274.
McNamara on 46, Lawson on 27. And New South Wales are 7 for 274. And Joe Kadiri, who hasn't done a lot in this match, only taken 9 wickets, made 100, fielded brilliantly. Just been a Joe Kadiri match, this one. And he'll come on from the scoreboard end, and he'll be bowling to McNamara, just 4 short of a half century. There it is, the half century. Magnificent shot. Did not move from his crease, on the front foot, and smashed it through the covers. That's almost the shot of the day.
It's a wonderful shot from Brad McNamara. Struggled for the majority of his innings. The first ball from Joe Kadiri, slashed outside the off stump. Took it right in the middle of the bat, raced to the boundary for 4. Watching again, played away from his body, but the end result was exactly what he wanted. He's made a well-compiled 50. There it goes again. Well, we saw Jeff Lawson put Chris Owen away for 2 boundaries. McNamara's decided that he might open his shoulders. That was a good shot down to deep point for 4.
Yes, he's made his intentions clear. A little bit of outswing for Kadiri. That was placed well. And 4 more runs to McNamara, who goes to 54. And his 54 being a very, very good innings for New South Wales in this predicament. Off 151 balls in 199 minutes and included 6 boundaries. Kadiri this time right on middle stump, not giving him any room.
Great confidence booster for Brad McNamara, only averaging around 18 at Shield level prior to this game. Missed out in the first innings, out for 6. Caught behind of Chris Owen. Has really battled well here in the second innings. Shown a lot of grit and determination. Kadiri. McNamara. Just plays it out to mid-wicket.
Yes, well, somebody is going to have to miss out in the New South Wales side in their probably next encounter, given the fact that Michael Bevan and Steve Waugh may get back in the side, I would think. Both those players, very, very good players. And obviously they'll return into the side, so there'll be 2 players that miss out. And McNamara's trying very hard to make certain that it's not him. A bit of outswing again for Kadiri. Well played, McNamara.
Well, if he can go in and score a century, that's one way to keep your place, I should imagine. And perhaps Trevor Bayliss' position could be under the microscope. That's his highest score in first-class cricket. Very hard-fought 54. He's still going. And he's shown a lot of determination. Looked very awkward. In fact, he got hit by Kadiri in the first ball he faced in the second innings. It's allowed a pill. 8 runs from the Kadiri over. New South Wales, 7 for 282.
.54 to Brad McNamara, 27 to Jeffrey Lawson, 7 for 282 New South Wales in its second innings. Chris Owen to Jeff Lawson. It's a good delivery. Right on the stumps, just pushed to mid-wicket and fielded there by Peter Sleep.
Well, Barry, you've lost your bet. You said the game would be all over by 2:30, unless they get 3 wickets in 3 minutes.
Perth time.
Of course, I should have realised that. Jeff Lawson and McNamara proving to be stumbling blocks. Owen to Lawson. Pushes it out to a wide mid-on. No run there. There's a very pensive Andrew Hilditch, former South Australian captain. Next to him is Jamie Siddons, and next to him another former captain, David Hooks. So 3 of them all in a line, Barry.
Yes, and I was talking to another former captain yesterday in the Chapel Bar, Bob Blewett. Of course, his young lad is playing here in the Shield match. Young Greg Blewett. It must be the weekend for captains. They're everywhere. I dare say there'd be another couple of players out there that could warrant a mention. Here's young Greg Blewett. Fitted in very, very nicely into the South Australian team. Chris Owen. To Lawson, kept a bit low. He's called quickly for a single. This could be close, but not picked up cleanly at mid-on by Joe Kadiri. So another one to Jeff Lawson. He moves along to 28 and the score to 283.
Yes, some good rearguard action from New South Wales. Jeff Lawson, 28 valuable runs, and Brad McNamara, 54. Looks quite a good player when he opens the shoulders and gives it the full face of the bat. Chris Owen from the River Torrens end. Well pitched up. Provides no problems on that occasion for McNamara. Yes, he really does look like the Paul Keating look-alike. I know we've said that before, Barry, but on the side profile, it'd be nice to have that sort of power.
Yes, and there's Jeffrey Lawson, his highest score this season. 28 not out. But not a big year with the bat, Jeffrey. Chris Owen. That's very, very close again. The end of the Owen over, just the one run from it. New South Wales are 7 for 283.
Wonderful day's cricket here at Adelaide Oval for the 4th day in a row. Kadiri to continue to Lawson, finds a thickish edge. Good by Andrew Hilditch. What a game it has been for Joe Kadiri. I've already mentioned 9 wickets for the match, plus a marvellous 100. He really did. To overshadow David Hooks is no mean feat, but while he was at the crease, he did that on the Saturday for his 2nd century in a row. Kadiri to Lawson, wraps him on the pad, outside leg stump. It really has been a big couple of weeks for Joe Kadiri.
Yes, I'd like to see him get another wicket now to complete the magic double. 10 wickets and a plus 100. Be a great feat for this young man, who would be feeling the pinch right now. As I mentioned to Gordon Swartz earlier, he's been in the match since ball 1. It's right on target. And Lawson plays it well to mid-off. Fielded by Glenn Bishop, who's on the ground in place of Dennis Hickey.
Yes, and Joe Kadiri's 7 wickets and 110 was the best first innings performance for South Australian for 100 years. So it's part of history. Fine performance. Bowls to Lawson, and Jeffrey Lawson is out. A simple catch poked to Andrew Hilditch, and Joe Kadiri has picked up wicket number 10.
Yes, well done, Joe Kadiri. It's your match. He's picked up the vital wicket. He's got the breakthrough that South Australia desperately wanted since lunch. He's got the wicket of the New South Wales skipper. Ball pitched on off stump, just moving away slightly off the seam. Lawson opened the face and only managed to glide it directly to Andrew Hilditch in the gully. His 2nd catch today. New South Wales lose their 8th wicket. They are now 8 for 283.
Michael Whitney walking to the wicket, and he's there because the last dismissal of Jeff Lawson caught Hilditch, bowled Kadiri.
Yes, Michael Whitney, first innings, no score. Wouldn't be all that confident walking to the wicket. 2 wickets required for South Australia. Change in the commentary team. David Wildy is now joined by Gordon Swartz.
That was the dismissal, nicely picked up by Andrew Hilditch. again. Nice catch. Took a blinder this morning, the first one. Michael Whitney walked to the wicket in the first innings. Didn't put bat to ball and walked straight out again. Now we'll see what he can do. Facing up to Kadiri. Took his third wicket in this innings. 10 for the match, plus 100. A magnificent performance. 8 for 283.
There's a Michael Whitney on a pair. The first ball, pair in fact. Only lasted the one ball in the first innings. On occasion, does one better, just. Ball just going back towards the stumps. But everything Joe Kadiri touches turns to gold, Gordon.
Yes, you're right. I suppose it often happens that a batsman gets a king pair out first ball each innings. Played that one confidently, except that it rolled back towards the stumps. Stance looks good.
Well played on that occasion by Michael Whitney. That's the end of the over. A wicket maiden. New South Wales 8 for 283.
Valuable knock by Brad McNamara. He's on 54, got 6 in the first innings, and in his only other innings for New South Wales this season, got 18 against the Indians at Lismore. Owen. Yes! Nicely taken off the pads, deflected backward of square. Kadiri. Correction. May.
Yes, it'd be a good achievement for Brad McNamara to remain not out. He came in at the fall of the third wicket. Batted first wicket down in the first innings. He's been there for a long while and held up his end. 212 minutes for Brad McNamara. Chris Owen looking for his second wicket. He might just get it with Michael Whitney. Well played by Whitney out to cover. So he's lasted at least 3 more balls in the first innings.
Yes, the men out today. Emery for 8, Matthews 40, Friedman for 1, and Lawson for 28. Theory has 3 for 59. Owens bowled pretty good line and length, varied them reasonably well. The odd bumper which have had to be played. Out. Again. Hilditch, another nice catch.
Yes, the end is near now. Michael Whitney fending outside off stump. Andrew Hilditch picks up his third catch for the innings. Chris Owens gets wicket number 2. That's the end of Michael Whitney. It's here again. Hung the bat out to dry. Just guided the catch out to Hilditch on his left-hand side. Really has got safe hands today. Michael Whitney disappointing. Walks off the Adelaide Oval. New South Wales 9 for 284.
A king size, not a king size pair, but a pair to Whitney. Close, 235, 245. 240. it's not. It's not chase. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who that is.
Like him.
Yeah, it was. The way he walked, wasn't it? Yeah, but he might have just... No, it's not.
1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Low for mid wicket. Thank you.
New South Wales in big trouble, to say the least. They're 9 for 284. And only one more wicket required for South Australia to win outright and take 6 points, and a very much needed 6 points in this game. The new batsman in is Wayne Holdsworth. And Brad McNamara will be hoping that he can at least hold up an end for a while. This is how Michael Whitney was dismissed, giving Andrew Hilditch his 3rd catch of the innings. Chris Owens picked up his 2nd wicket. When you look at the bowlers, they've shared the wickets around. Hickey's got 1, Kadiri 3, Chris Owen and Tim May both picked up 2, and Peter Sleep the 1.
Owen looking for his 3rd wicket. That's very close. Good judgment by Wayne Holdsworth. South Australia win this one outright, and they should from here. They'll go to 8 points, which will be level with Tasmania, and ahead, of course, of New South Wales, who are on 4 at the moment. I think Victoria have 10. Queensland must be at the top with, I'm only guessing, 12 at the moment. Sorry, Western Australia 12, Queensland 14. No, I'm right. My guess was a little bit astray.
But Victoria doing very well in their game against Western Australia. They've taken first innings points. We'll take first innings points and a rough chance for an outright. Chris Owen seeking wicket number 3. Be a good reward too for Chris Owen. Picked up a wicket in the first innings to finish with 4 wickets for the game. He'll be very happy. Owen to Holdsworth. Not much idea about that. 1 run from Chris Owens over. New South Wales 9 for 284.
Yes, he's bowled, as I said earlier, pretty steadily throughout. And of course, strong support to Kadiri. He's picked up those 3 for 59. Tim May's 2 were valuable, and of course so was Peter Sleep's 1 when he picked up Greg Matthews. Tempted to loft, well, he certainly lofted it down through mid-wicket. Was nicely caught by Chris Owen. That was a valuable wicket to Peter Sleep. Hasn't bowled many overs in this match, but certainly played his part. It's Kadiri.
Well, I should imagine McNamara would like to keep the strike, try and stay there as long as he can. Wayne Holdsworth, not noted for his batting, tear-away fast bowler. Brad McNamara, 55 not out. He'll be quite keen to add to that tally. Kadiri can just pushes forward. Takes a single on that occasion. He gets up to the safe end and exposes now Wayne Holdsworth.
Promising young bowler. A little bit of punishment in South Australia's innings of 556. Has great potential. Very quick at times. Holdsworth average, batting average, a little bit better than 2.
Yes, it's 2.25, but that's 2.25 more than Michael Whitney.
Whitney is a very valuable bowler.
Yes, you've got no argument there, Gordon. A line-hearted effort from Michael Whitney in the first innings. 3 for 105 of many overs. Kadiri very, very close to the wicket and to the edge of the bat. Nice to see Joe Kadiri pick up his 4th wicket, make it 11 for the game. Good bowling. He really has performed well. And Wayne Holdsworth not having a great idea about that ball. Kadiri to Holdsworth. He edged it, but it went all along the ground, fielded by Siddons. One ball remaining. Joe Kadiri's over. 3 for 60. There's a very happy captain, Jamie Siddons, and why not? Right from the time he sent New South Wales into bat, everything has gone right for him, and South Australia played very well. Kadiri to Holdsworth. It's the end of the over. 1 run from it. New South Wales 9 for 285.
Last man out was Whitney without scoring. Before that, Lawson 28. Friedman for 1. Matthews for 40. A well-compiled 40. McNamara on 56. Holdsworth yet to open his account. Owen with 2 wickets. Played confidently by McNamara.
And Jamie Siddons has conceded a single to McNamara. He's got the offside field well spread. Very deep point, deep cover and deep mid-off. So virtually inviting the single to expose Wayne Holdsworth. Good captaincy from Siddons. And it'll be interesting to see whether Brad McNamara takes up the offer and goes through for a single. Chris Owen. McNamara just pushes that one into the gully. Andrew Hilditch has had a purple patch in the field today. 3 catches. The first one an absolute blinder to catch out Phil Emery. The next 2 somewhat more regulation.
Yes, the first one was so important because Emery looked in no trouble at all, really. Chased one very wide from, well, didn't have to chase it, really. Stuck the bat out and caught the toe. Brilliantly picked up at point. Yes, he takes the single.
And why not? He's certainly held up his part of the bargain, remained at the crease. We've seen a lot of wickets fall. In fact, 6 wickets have fallen since McNamara's been at the crease, and could well be 7. Holdsworth crouched over his bat. Plays that one off the middle of the bat out to forward point. Hasn't been a big game for Wayne Holdsworth. 1 wicket for 140. Took the wicket of David Hooks, but only after he'd made 156. Would like to have picked him up much, much earlier. He certainly is a bowler with a big future. Very quick. Still a little bit raw. That's a nice shot from Holdsworth on the back foot. A lot better batsman than he would have been proud of that shot. That's 4 runs. Beautiful back foot cover drive. And Wayne Holdsworth has no doubt doubled his average with that single blow.
Yes, off the back foot, as you saw. along the ground all the way. Gave Bishop no chance. We're being a little facetious, I know, but that equals his higher score for the season. Not expected down at number 11 to pick up too many runs.
There's more runs to Wayne Holdsworth. He's just passed his high score. They should come back for 3. McNamara running hard. Comes back for an easy 3. Wayne Holdsworth moves up to 7. That's 8 runs from the over. New South Wales total 9 for 292. And really, it's a beautiful day for cricket, Gordon, and quite a few people have come. It's not a big crowd, but still quite a few have come out to see the final day. Hopefully see a South Australian victory, which could be in the near vicinity.
Yes, there's that magnificent scoreboard, magnificent venue. There's some of the spectators enjoying a little bit of Christmas cheer, early Christmas. Come early to some people. Kadiri to continue. Certainly came early for him. 23rd birthday. Celebrates it tomorrow. 3 for 60 in the second innings, continuing, looking for the 4th wicket. And Holdsworth looking a batsman.
Yes, if it's your birthday and Christmas Eve, I suppose you'd be asking a bit much from Santa to take 11 wickets and make a century. That's what's come his way. Very happy, Jose Kadiri. Worked hard on his cricket, almost a full-time cricketer. Plays the off-season in England. Kadiri to McNamara. In fact, it was Holdsworth. Played that quite well too.
Well, look at him close up. He may finish up with an electric razor for his, for his Christmas present and his birthday present. A nice lad is Jose Kadiri. It's a glorious shot.
Maybe Holdsworth should have been batting at number 10. It's on the back foot. Eyes light up. Thank you very much. It's gone all the way to the fence. And he moves into double figures. Wayne Holdsworth goes to 11. It's a wide ball. Didn't do a lot off the seam. And Wayne Holdsworth had no trouble in dispatching that to the boundary.
Yes, the 12 runs that he has made have been made impressively.
Amazing statistic. Wayne Holdsworth, 3 previous highest scores in Shield cricket have all been against South Australia and all on this ground. It's Kadiri. McNamara has a windy whoosh at that one. Doesn't make contact. We've mentioned it before, it has been a gritty innings from McNamara, Gordon.
Yes, his application, commitment have been outstanding. Hasn't played many shots, but the situation really hasn't called for that. He's had to remain there, hoping that others would get runs as well. His has been first class. It's another good shot. Nine off the over. 9, 200 and correction, 302.
And New South Wales needing another 29 to make South Australia bat again. And these two have put on 18 now, brought up the 300, the milestone. Wayne Holdsworth made 12 out of that 18. McNamara moved into the 60s. Fine example of concentration. Owen to Holdsworth, not too confident on that occasion. Goes through to Tim Nielsen. New South Wales record. Watch this one go through again, just beats the outside edge. Their record at the Adelaide Oval hasn't been all that good for quite a few years. South Australia seem to have the wood on them here. Mind you, New South Wales certainly got the wood on us in Sydney.
Yes, they've been a great cricket side over the years. It is best to get out then. Had one purple patch where they won, I can't remember how many, but held the Shield for years on end, 9 in a row. Beaten in last year's final by Victoria, and Jamie Siddons played a superb second innings. Victoria.
Owen right on target once again. Still working, polish that ball, checking to see if it's in shape. His figure's 2 for 59. And this is his 24th over, so very economical bowling stint from Chris Owen. Bowls to Holdsworth. That one's found the gap, slightly in the air there for a while. Should come back for 3. Will they be content with 2? 2 will do. Blewett does the fielding. The 2 more to Wayne Holdsworth. Really is doing quite well with the bat.
Yes, he is. There's a lot of hope, isn't there, amongst the South Australian fieldsmen? You probably heard it come through. Hold it. Well, it was a long way. It was in the air, but it was a long way away from Blewett. Just dying to get this match over and done with.
It was a good ball by Chris Owen, almost through the defences of Wayne Holdsworth. 1 ball remaining in this over. Of course, New South Wales resumed at 4 for 148. They've taken their total along to 9 for 304. Some disappointing efforts from some of their batsmen. Owen bowls to Holdsworth once again. Almost square drives through point. They'll come back for an easy 2. Be quite content with that. 4 runs from that over. New South Wales 9 for 306.
Yes, Holdsworth's higher score last season was 21. So he's fast approaching that again. 16, and got them quite well too. That was his higher score, so I'm told. Time for a little spin, do you think?
Well, there's a change in the bowling, and Tim May is coming on the Cathedral end. He's bowled 40 overs, 2 for 121. Be very keen to make that 3 for 121. The ball a bit, certainly a lot newer, shiny, should bounce more. And once again, Jamie Siddons has spread-eagled the field. A deep mid-off, deep mid-on, deep cover, fairly deep mid-wicket. He's going to allow Brad McNamara to pick up a single. Allowed a pill, not out, says the umpire.
Good vocal cords by Tim May.
Umpire Steve Davis not interested in that appeal. May, that's off the pad. No shot off it, they won't run. Been a good effort from South Australia. They really have put it all together for the entire game. 4 good days of cricket. From their personal point of view, Tim May, quicker ball off the pad. Once again, they elect not to run. Quite often we see these frustrating last wicket partnerships. You think they're going to be all out at any ball, but so far they have defied the South Australian attack and added 22 for the 10th wicket.
Good shot. Picks a gap out there. Goes out to a long striding 12th man, Glenn Bishop.
Yes, Glenn Bishop enjoying the sun. Really is a wonderful day. Be nice to be out there in the field. Certainly not too hot. Pleasant day for cricket.
South Australia's next match is against this same side, New South Wales in Sydney, the end of January, so there's about a month's break. Probably, well, the way things are now, take the same 12, I would imagine, David.
Yes, it'd be hard to squeeze anyone out of this 12. Certainly the 11 have performed very well. Maybe Glenn Bishop, there could be a change there, the 12th man. That's more of an appeal in hope, I think, from Tim May. He's been very frustrated with the way the batsmen have just putting the pad to the ball rather than exposing the bat. We see once again the pad in front of the bat.
He'll never die wondering, will he? Two off the over. 9 for 308. Correction, yes, 308.
So this 10th wicket partnership, now they put on 24. McNamara enjoying himself 63 and Wayne Holdsworth 16. Chris Owen to continue once again. Wonder if there's any thought of perhaps bringing Peter Sleep back into the attack. Last time, or for his only bowl, he picked up an early wicket and the very important wicket of Greg Matthews.
Yes, Siddons just came down and spoke to Owen. I suppose he feels there's plenty of time. Still a number of runs to play with and only 1 wicket remaining.
Could just about afford to have 2 gullies. Holdsworth put 3 balls in that direction the last over. On occasion hits it out to mid-wicket. It's often the case wherever you move the field, it goes to where the fielder was. New South Wales just battling away. Holdsworth just over the bat, fairly crouched position. Again met with a straight bat. When you see the number 11 batsman Gordon playing the attack so easily, you wonder why the more recognised batsman had so much trouble. It's often the case.
Yes, you do. I suppose at this stage, it's. I wonder whether they just try a little bit too hard. This is the bowlers I'm talking about, because they've done most of the hard work, and you expect then to just get through the number 11 batsman. But he's done very well. That's the attempted shot that perhaps you expect from a number 11 batsman, but he's played a few of those before and hit them square right in the middle of the bat.
Yes, on that occasion a slash and a miss from Wayne Holdsworth. All just going over the top of the bat. Can be very frustrating for the bowler too when the number 10, 11 batsmen play like that. Owen, not a bad delivery, but fended away for a single. So Holdsworth, he moves along to 17.
Just thinking of the way he attempted to slash that one. One of the shots of the match for me was a shot by Jamie Siddons on Saturday when he pulled away from the ball that was rising outside the off stump and just purposely glided it over the slips down to the boundary for 4. It was superb.
Yes, Jamie Siddons played well in his comeback game. It's been a good game for South Australia in more ways than one. David Hook certainly returned to top form. A marvellous 156. We mentioned Jamie Siddons. Of course, Kadiri's continued on his good form. And even Chris Owen. Chris Owen's picked up 3 wickets for the match. Bowled quite tightly and tidily. And Greg Blewett, 56. So they've all contributed. Well, how did that miss? 1 run from the over. New South Wales still hanging in there, 9 for 308.
Nine for 309. Total at the moment. Holdsworth on strike. He's on 17. His partner, McNamara, 63. May continuing. Quite confident.
Yes, Tim May's just struggled this season to get the breakthroughs. Hasn't been quite as penetrating as he has in previous seasons. Perhaps not tossing the ball up as high as one would expect.
Catch!
On occasion, Holdsworth is pushing forward. Been a very defiant last wicket stand. There's a copybook forward defence there. This must be frustrating for a spinner. He realises he hasn't taken the wickets, Gordon, trying very hard. Hold tightly, without a lot of luck. You look up on the board and his figure's 2 for 123.
I wonder whether it would be worth tossing up a few loose ones, hoping to buy a wicket last from the tail ender, from the last man in. Tim May started this game with 6 wickets at just over 100 apiece, had none for 24 in the first innings, 2 for 123 in the second. He's a much better bowler than that. Coming around the wicket. A maiden, 9 for 309.
Chris Owen to continue from the River Torrens end. New South Wales score is 9 for 309. McNamara on strike. He's on 63 and batting well. Glides that into the gully, no run. Yes, if they don't get a wicket shortly, I'd be tempted to bring on Peter Sleep. Get him to toss a few balls up and allow the batsman to have a go at him. Greg Matthews certainly did that and ended up losing his wicket. A very good catch taken by Chris Owen. A tall man. As we said, possibly no other player on the side would have caught it. There's more runs to McNamara. He'll probably get 4, at least 3. Jamie Brayshaw in pursuit. come back for the third run. McNamara to 66. For some reason, Jamie Siddon seems a bit loath to use Peter Sleep. Hasn't bowled a lot of overs. In fact, only 8. He's got the figures of 1 for 18. Picked as a leg spinner. And a very handy number 8 batsman making 70 in the first innings. Holdsworth just adjusting his gear, his gloves. Just moves the helmet around. And to Holdsworth, take another single. This partnership creeping up now. In fact, there's 28. A small crowd enjoying the cricket, getting their money's worth, seeing South Australia on their way to victory. The big question is when. There they are. Also see a bike up there on the mound. He's not going to lose that one. Chris Owen. Occasion just flashes outside the off stump. Doesn't make contact. That was McNamara too. Just trying to glide that ball down to third man. It really does frustrate the fast bowler. Charges in, sees the batsman do that. Doesn't get a wicket. Over to McNamara. It's better forward defence. Chris Owen tossed the ball back to Nielsen, but there's one more ball to go.
Might I just point out to you, if you think we might be going shortly, that the record partnership for New South Wales for the 10th wicket is 307. Kippax and Hooker in Melbourne in 1928-29. Just a little bit of trivia that I picked up in case you think we might be disappearing shortly. They might stay here till 6.
That's the end of the over. 4 runs from the Chris Owen over. New South Wales 9 for 312. Well, the last wicket fell 35 minutes ago, the 9th wicket for New South Wales. And Wayne Holdsworth and Brad McNamara have really had a defiant last wicket partnership. And Gordon, you mentioned the 10th wicket record for New South Wales between Kippax and Hooker, 307. Just looking at the 5th wicket, that's more recent. Mark Waugh and Steve Waugh put on 464 unconquered against Western Australia in Perth last season.
That's correct. That beat the previous best by a couple of South Australians, Hooks and Phillips. Incidentally, Kippax, who was one of the stylists over the years, shared in that 10th wicket partnership. He also holds the New South Wales 3rd wicket partnership record with Don Bradman.
There's a couple of fair players there, Bradman and Kippax. That's for sure.
33-34.
This records are made to be broken, but I doubt very much whether that 10th wicket one will be broken for a long while. 307. Really is an incredible feat. Tim May around the wicket to Holdsworth. Forces him back once again. Just pushes backward of point. Take an easy single. And then the longer they go on, the more frustrating it is for South Australia. Almost 40 minutes since the last wicket fell. McNamara on strike. Goes over the top. He really has played well, as we said. Determined innings. He'll come back for 3 or look for the 3rd. And good fielding on occasion from Kadiri. Restricts it to 2. Good batting by McNamara, picking the ball to go over the top. Didn't quite get hold of it. Timing wasn't quite there, but 1 ball remaining. McNamara on 68. May. Very close. Did it come off the pad? We'll just check with the umpire. No, got a bit of bat to it. That's why there was no LBW. End of the over. New South Wales 9 for 317.
Bowling change from the southern end. Joe Kadiri. Come on with the scoreboard. 9 for 316. Defiant last stand by this pair. Holdsworth 19. McNamara 69. He's on strike. That's a glorious shot for 4. A little bit short. Square cutted beautifully. Went like a bullet to the fence.
Well,
Great shot.
We've seen McNamara defend for most of the day, but when he decides to open the shoulders, he really has got the shots. That's a glorious shot through cover point. No need to run for that one. That's his 8th 4. He moves up to 73. Total 320. Just edging closer to make South Australia bat. A few more of those. It's a nice shot off the back foot too. Take the single. Expose Wayne Holdsworth. First wicket to fall. New South Wales second innings with Steve Small. A lazy shot. Didn't move the feet. And the off stump rattled. Bowled Dennis Hickey. Watching that again. Trevor Bayliss on his way. In fact, Steve Small on his way. There's Dennis Hickey, the man that removed him.
Kadiri. Slightly cross bat. The second one to go was Bayliss. And there was the man who claimed the wicket, Tim May. Good delivery. Attempted the sweep, lost his off stump. Bayliss out for 87.
Kadiri. That was a shot of a number 11 batsman. It's not a good shot at all. Watching this again, it's not exactly how you play the back foot cover drive. Just about went through the stumps. Must have been one more coat of varnish, that would have been out. Kadiri. The Holdsworth, a better shot. Middled that one. The third wicket to fall was that of Mark Taylor. And this man, Joe Kadiri, did the damage. Bit of controversy over that dismissal. Taylor didn't think he hit it. Kadiri certainly did. And Tim Nilsson did the rest. Taylor on his way.
Kadiri. It's another glorious shot. Same spot, and that's his highest score. Well done. 9 for 326. Fourth wicket to fall. A valuable wicket of Mark Waugh. Joe Kadiri kept a little bit low, took the off stump. Mark Waugh, 24. No doubt about that one. Picking up the 2 wickets that counted so much.
The first wicket to fall this morning was in fact the 5th wicket, that of Phil Emery. A brilliant catch taken by Andrew Hilditch off the bowling of Owen. A wide ball. He slashed at that, and Hilditch diving to his left really did pull off a marvellous catch. I think Emery would have expected 4 from that shot. Instead, he was on his way back to the pavilion.
Tim May to continue. He's asleep in shot, wondering whether he'll get another bowl in this match. May to McNamara. Both of these batsmen have recorded their higher scores. First-class cricket.
Only 5 more runs required to make South Australia bat in the second innings. Who would have thought that half an hour ago? Tim made McNamara. Very useful stand, this last one. 42 they've put on. 42 in 40 minutes. A run a ball. Better than a run a ball. Like run a minute. Tim May. Forces him back on that occasion. I think it's time for Peter Sleep to come on. We've said this 3 or 4 times, but that's what he's been chosen for. The bowl spin, 1 for 18. May. McNamara used his feet well, take an easy single. Moves up to 75. Well, Gordon, Tim May's bowled well in the 40 overs. And 44, and Peter Sleep's at 8. I just can't quite see that.
First innings, none for 24 off 4 overs.
Catch it.
No use yelling out catch it all the time when it's coming off the pads.
Tim May for the final ball of this over. Shorter one, faster one. 1 run from the over. New South Wales 9 for 326.
The 6th dismissal was that of Greg Matthews. Batted very well for 40. Off sleep. Tempted to hit it over the top. Watch the Australian rules mark. Catch. Well done, Chris Owen. 6'3", and up went another 3 feet.
Then soon after, David Freedman. A mixture of bat, pad, and also off the keeper's pad. Ended up going to David Hooks. He took a good catch to his right-hand side, one-handed. That was the end of David Freedman.
There's Kadiri into the attack. Full toss. Driven down to Bishop. 8th dismissal. New South Wales skipper Jeff Lawson. Picked up nicely by Hilditch. Off Kadiri. 28. Used a runner. There it is again, off the outside edge.
Kadiri. Holdsworth. This really has shaped up quite well. And the last wicket to fall, the 9th wicket, was that of Michael Whitney, giving Andrew Hilditch his 3rd catch for the innings in the gully off the bowling of Chris Owen. Whitney not really getting the feet across to that ball. And a diving catch from Andrew Hilditch. That was quite a while ago. Since then, that wicket fell at 284. The score is now 327, so it's been a good partnership. 46 minutes. They've added a couple more runs here. So only 1 run required now to make South Australia bat. This really is incredible. At 307, they're going to give it a shake, Gordon.
I hope not. No Now, we're talking earlier in the match about David Hooks, the runs that he scored for South Australia. Remarkable performance. Top scorer for New South Wales is Kippax, whom we were talking about before, who scored 6,096. Just over 60 matches too.
Once again, Jace Kadiri, frustrated, beat the edge of the bat. It's Alan Kippax watching this ball again. Only played 61 matches. David Hooks has played well over 100, 115 and 16 Shield matches. And the average of Kippax was 70, so you can't do much better than that, Gordon.
No, there was another fellow down the list a bit. He only played 31 games for New South Wales as Kadiri comes in. No. The end of the over, 3 off, 9 for 329.
Nine for 330. Tim May to continue once again. There's New South Wales boys looking on anxiously. Michael Whitney looking up at the screen. Tim May to McNamara. Goes back. This partnership now produced 46 runs in almost even time. Tim May, marathon spell, 45th over. It's getting very close. They get one. So now South Australia have to bat again. That's single. Just how many more can New South Wales get? That's the next question, Gordon.
Yeah, it's a good question. They've defied this attack very well. There have been a few swipes that have missed, but taken all around. Holdsworth has played his part as well. Sensible knock.
He really is batting well, Gordon, Wayne Holdsworth. A couple of slashes outside the off stump, but apart from that, he's looked quite comfortable.
Agreed. We had a district match on Saturday when the 9th wicket fell for 98 and the last pair put on 123. I know it's relative, admittedly. It's not first-class cricket, but OK, the last pair, and one of those was a rookie.
Now, the other was a season campaigner, Andrew Sincock, fined 77. To put on 100 for the last wicket doesn't happen too often.
The last man was run out, and perhaps that's our main hope here, or South Australia's main hope of getting a wicket here.
Well, last night I thought Tim May was bowling hand grenades, but today, really the sting has gone out of the bowling. Tim May, it's better flighted, but he's just taken his time and put it over the top. I think we'll go for 4 more. Well, now South Australia need 5. 4 more to Holdsworth. That's the over. 5 runs from it. New South Wales 9 for 335.
I didn't think it would go into the third session. Who had 6:15?
New South Wales defying all odds, 9 for 335. And Wayne Holdsworth, 29, that's his highest first-class score. Certainly looked the goods too. As is this young man, Brad McNamara, 77. Very defiant knock.
Does he now speak to his captain, Jeff Lawson, and say I should be elevated to number 10 or number 9 next time we play?
Well, he hasn't had a very high average prior to this game. This no doubt will boost it quite significantly. There he is, the man on screen. It's Kadiri. Another run to the total. Look for 2. Be happy with 1. Chris Owen does the fielding. McNamara moves along to 78. He's batted a long while, 265 minutes. What's that, 4 hours, 25 minutes? A long stint at the crease, but exactly what his skipper would have asked. Well, that's hit the middle of Wayne Holdsworth's bat. Goes out to Glenn Bishop.
Deserves a century with his commitment and his application and his patience. Whether Holdsworth can hold an end up that long, problematical, but you never know.
This has been a chanceless innings too from Brad McNamara. Been there a long while at the wicket. That's Wayne Holdsworth in the picture. Stuart Surridge bat. It's a big lump of wood. And already he's earned 29 runs. Kadiri at short, that's over the top. Might get 4 more here. Frustrated Joe Kadiri dropped it short. That will go all the way to the boundary for 4 more runs. Taking Holdsworth to 33. And the total moves up to 340.
Yep, played it well. Reminiscent of that shot that I was talking about earlier of Siddons, and that was a gem. And so was that one.
This Wayne Holdsworth really has surprised here this afternoon. Much like the Adelaide Oval. It's Kadiri. That's a good shot too on the back foot. And was that to cover 0.5 runs from the over. New South Wales 9 for 340.
Great fight by New South Wales. This pair came together when the score was 284. It's now 340. Tim May bowling to a field that stretched almost round the boundary. Peter Sleep moving hard, not particularly fast. .342. McNamara goes on to 80. Holdsworth 33.
Guess a lead of 11 to the New South Wales team. Tim May. Once again, a very light-hearted appeal. How was that? I think more in frustration. Tim May bowled a lot of overs. 56th over. Fingers starting to get a little bit tired. Hold him.
That's it.
That's the end of Mac's very patient innings of 80. And finally, New South Wales 42. Tim May's 3rd wicket at a cost of 135 runs. And McNamara is on his way for 80.
Yes, you mentioned that those fingers were tired. Well, they were, but still persevered and won. It's a good delivery. McNamara played over the top of it and was dismissed for 80. He too deserved very well for his 80, deserved 100 or so. But that's the way things go.
Yes, and they put on 58 for the last. Really was a whole thing. Full marks to McNamara. He came in the full kit. He was the last man out. Watching Tim May and Joe Spear. May deserved his 3 wickets. Kadiri also picking up 3. And really all did their job. They chipped in for a wicket. Chris Owen picked up 2. Peter Sleep 1. And of course Dennis Hickey got the first breakthrough.
Yes, I agree entirely. They all played their part.
Here's how it happened. McNamara, Tim May in his 46th over, slightly off stump. Might have got a bit of bat on that. And that was the end of Brad for a very fine, defiant 80.
Yes, a good effort. Just have a look at the scorecard right down with the ball out for 15. No, just 342 points, and South Australia have to bat again. Welcome back to the Adelaide Oval. Just walked in and wondered what has happened today. New South Wales dismissed 142, a gallant last wicket added to their total of 220. Had found them 11 behind South Australia 5. The South Australia again 12 runs needed for outright, and naturally Blewett and Hilditch will open, and Whitney will open the bowling for New South Wales. A defiant 80 by McNamara, batted a long time, but his patience and his application were first class. A bright 40, Tim May and Joe Kadiri each took 3 wickets. Everything in readiness to open the attack.
Michael Whitney for New South Wales. It's a wide, not a good start. That might first let field on it there. Was hit in the back of the side of the face off the gloves of the keeper. Very wayward first ball. Watch this one again. Short. Now Emery just gets a glove to it, comes up and it's a player on the side of the face.
Lawson.
Yes, it should have been called a wide, and
It was called a wide.
sundries are 1.
Yes.
No ball, of course, is 2 runs. Michael Whitney all fired up. Time for Greg Blewett and Andrew Hilditch, only requiring 12 for Vic. Never a knock out though. Facing a fiery Michael Whitney. Very pensive Andrew Hilditch in the picture. Whitney to Blewett. That's short ball. That's well hit. And a deep fine leg. And it's gone all the way to the fence for 4. But what a start for Greg Blewett. Already South Australia have wiped off 5 of the 12 runs required for victory. A very confident shot there from young Blewett.
Yes, it was. Look at it. On the ground. Holdsworth got his body to it, control it, and it just rolled into the gutter. Thousands of seagulls disturbed. Wonder whether Holdsworth, no, I don't know whether he hurt himself putting up a bootlace.
A little bit surprised that
It was a dead seagull
been hit.
Injured.
A little bit surprised Gordon and Jez out there. Like he's hardly taken any part in the game. And he bowled 5 overs in the first innings, batted with a runner. And he's fielding at first slip, and first ball he was struck on the side of the face.
Yes, that was a good shot. Good shot by Blewett. No defensive action or just taking his time. It was there, it was loose, and it was there to be hit, and he hit it. Right behind it. A shout by Whitney, but he withdrew it. He realised that the ball had got higher than expected.
Quite a sharp delivery then from Michael Whitney. 3 for 105 in the first innings. A long spell at the crease. Was the pick of the New South Wales bowlers. Always a tough competitor. He'll be hoping to grab another wicket. Whitney to Blewett. Quickly calls Hilditch through for a single. So Greg Blewett advances his score to 5. Hilditch hasn't faced a ball yet. The total is no wicket for 6.
Just during the break, I was just speaking to official out here of one of the clubs, and he said, well, South Australia should win, but you know what they've done in the past. But he said, I think only a downpour or a crowd riot could stop them from winning this game. 12, and they've got 6 of them.
I think they'll get either. No sign of for riot. Right, that's fairly close. Big appeal. We'll have a look at that one again. Very close, Andrew Hildy.
Perhaps it might have just gone over the look. He was down a little pace down, not too far down, but it might have just gone over the top. The umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt, just as I did.
Yes, they've been loath to give out batsman LBW. I think only one for the game in the first innings, New South Wales. That's a short ball. It's end of the over, 6 runs from it. South Australia, 6.
Blewett to take strike. He's 5. Hilditch yet to open his account. And Steve's take the new ball. A bit unusual. Left up, I would imagine, medium pace.
Yes, we didn't see him bowl in the first innings. Steve Small. 3 months older than David Hooks, I believe, Gordon. So the oldest player on the field.
A smile on his face. One of his teammates yelled out, yes, good pace. Good pace for an opener.
And only his 4th over career. Quite a few matches too, so obviously they don't think much of him as a bowler. First 2 deliveries wide of the off stump. I think Greg Blewett will just wait for the right one and try and pick it off. And that could be the one. Down a fine leg for a single. Struck. Blewett likes the hook. Never go. And Blewett moves along to 6. Sunday's won the total 7.
It's amazing in circumstances such as this when a spare parts bowler comes on and gets a wicket.
Yes, it's happened before.
With some awful deliveries too.
Steve Small to Hilditch. Hilditch straight down back to the bowler. In the first innings, fairly gritty innings. 15 in the second. It wasn't a good shot either, Dennis Hickey taking the first wicket. Five more runs required for victory. Steve Small to end. It's stump, end of the over, so 1 run off it. South Australia, no wicket for 7.
Seven, 5 runs needed, and 6 points. Well deserved 6 points. The South Australian side, Murray Sargent up in the background. Well, selectors, long-standing. Jamie Siddons, Peter Philpott, who's given us valuable service. Here, down in right of screen.
Jamie Brayshaw padded up. We're hoping he won't be required. Whitney to Greg Blewett. Whitney charging in. He'd love to pick up a wicket. He really would. Compared to the 3 in the first innings. Too long with the bat, but very fine bowler.
Interesting to see who's 12th in that starts on Boxing Day. Whether this gentleman will be, or whether perhaps Reed might fill that spot? Hard to say.
Yes, it might be Michael Whitney. Bring Bruce Reid back. I doubt very much whether I make him 12th man. Of course, Craig McDermott, Bruce Reid is backed by Peter Taylor, and Mark Ward probably won't bowl, and Alan Border with his left arm orthodox. Whitney to Blewett. Yep. Nice straight bat, another run to Blewett. He moves along to 7.
I mentioned the test. Day 1, of course, live from Melbourne on Nine's Wide World of Sports on Thursday at 10:20. Give up golf to watch that first day's play.
Yes, and doubt they'll get a big crowd with a new stand at MCG. Victorians love their cricket. Whitney to Hilditch. Hilditch not looking all that comfortable against the pace of Michael Whitney. Remembering back to the first innings, he received a short, sharp lifting ball from Whitney, collected and was caught behind Emery for 6. So Hilditch will be looking to keep his wicket intact. Not a very nice time, as I said earlier, to go and bat just for 4 or 5 overs. Crouch stance of Andrew Hilditch. Once again, out to Steve Small. 4 more runs required. His first outright victory. Season 1991. New South Wales will be very disappointed watching Andrew Hilditch's first innings dismissal. Didn't really know where that one went. Well, it went in the gloves of Phil Emery. Similar ball there from Whitney. End of the over. 1 run over. South Australia, no wicket for 8.
Hilditch, he's the 7th highest scorer in Sheffield Shield cricket. 7,145 runs, an average of 40 small. 1700s, that's for both New South and South Australia, and 28. A valuable cricketer for a long period. Vice captain, of course, of New South Wales and captain of Australia. Captain of South Australia.
Steve Small right on line. Greg Blewett. So far the figures of no wicket for 1 run. His second over. Greg Blewett, a player with enormous potential. Good ball too there from Steve Small. Fairly optimistic appeal.
Yes, he was fairly well down, wasn't he, down there? But certainly, especially when you... I don't think he's taken first-class cricket. Would have been his first. Certainly trying.
Ooh. Well, you mentioned often a part-time bowler comes a wicket. I saw one then. An untidy shot. Goes through the Emery. Steve Small would be to pick up a wicket.
Yes, Emery was airborne, that shot that you saw of him. A little bit of New Raya, the way he was in the air. Feet off the ground, not as graceful, of course, but went through all the actions of a ballet star.
Once again, a very enthusiastic appeal. It's ending the over a maiden. South Australia, no wicket for 8. South Australia, no wicket for 8. Greg Blewett survived 2 very confident appeals for leg before. Previous over to Steve Small. Michael Whitney to continue from the River Torrens end and going around the wicket. Dare say Andrew Hilditch might receive 1 or 2 short balls. That one was pitched up. Hilditch quite happy to get off the mark. Scurries through for a single. Brings Greg Blewett back on the strike. Total moves along to 9. So South Australia within 1 boundary of victory and first outright win for the season.
Blewett on 7. Helicopter passing overhead causes a flurry of seagulls. Whitney takes his time, tucks the trousers in, says, "I'm set, cop this." And he did, right near the rib cage.
Yes, Greg Blewett. He's trying to answer any challenge given to him. It's a short ball. He went for it. Threw this shot perhaps a little bit early and copped it on the right shoulder. That would have smarted. But they have a nice bruise there. The next few days. Greg Blewett, 7 not out. Once again short. Tries to repeat the shot. Can pick up 2 here. Blewett goes back for the second. Only 1 more run required for victory. Greg Blewett up to 9.
He possibly mistimed that. I don't think he got onto it properly. It would have gone down towards fine leg, I think. Instead of that, it went out towards, or just forward of square. Doesn't really matter. Picked up 2 runs.
Just having a look at his Kookaburra bat there. Whitney, Blewett. Hilditch keen to go through for the single. Blewett sends him back. Greg Blewett's had most of the strike. Now on the 5th over. He's done most of the scoring too. Blewett 9, Hilditch 1. 1 extra. The total 11. Very comfortable stance at the wicket as Greg Blewett. Whitney around the wicket. And there it is. A nice shot by Blewett. They'll probably go all the way to the fence. They've run 1. They'll get 4. Umpire just waiting. Signals 4. So Greg Blewett finishes on 13 not out. Hilditch 1. And South Australia, well, they end up winning by 10 wickets.
Yes, and a very pleased Jamie Siddons that you saw in the box there just now. Having decided to put New South Wales in, was justified. His bowler supported him. A great first day to dismiss New South Wales for 225. South Australia batted particularly well. In fact, they held the aces throughout this match, right from the opening, and certainly deserved their win, just as they deserved the win 12 months ago when they beat New South Wales. I think that they beat them here outright as well.
Yes, it's been a good start. Well, certainly a good win for South Australia. Good start to the game on Friday when they won the toss from Jamie Siddons. And a very strong victory, 10 wickets. And he needed 12 to win. They made 15. Greg Blewett made 13 of them. Andrew Hilditch 1. And the small crowd very appreciative of South Australia's efforts. There's Peter Philpott in the box up there. Saw Jamie Siddons a moment ago, very happy man, and why not? Sent New South Wales into bat, and they got the results.
There he is now, congratulating the New South Wales players. Two of them as they came through. Whitney goes straight into the South Australian room, naturally to pay his respects to. A great competitor is Whitney, and I know he's highly regarded and respected by all his opponents. Jamie Siddons' first outright win as captain of South Australia. He's dedicated his cause, well, the rest of his career, to playing here. It's nice to get a win at long last, especially when you decide that to put the opposition in. It can often be dangerous, but in this case, it worked out well for him.
South